वाक्यं स्वं श्रुतिशतशिरसिद्धमध्यापयन्ती सूच्छिष्टायां सृजनिगलिदं या कलात्कृत्य भुङ्क्ते बोधारस्यै नमैदमिदं भूय एवास्तु भूयः अन्नवयल पुदुவை ஆண்டாள் அரங்கற்கு பண்ண திருப்பாவை பல்வதியம் இன்னிசையால் பாடிக் கொடுத்தாள் நற்பாமாலை பூமாலை சூடிக் கொடுத்தாளைச் சொல்லு சூடிக் கொடுத்த சுடர் கொடியே தொல்பாவை பாடி அருள வல்ல பல்வளையாய் நாடி நீ வேங்கடவர்க்கு என்ன விதி என்ன இம்மாத்தம் நாம் கடவா வண்ணமே நல்லு. Today's Pasuram only, not part only. Okay. Elle Ilangkiliye இன்னமுறங்குதியோ சில்லென்னழையேன் மென்னங்கமீர் போதருகின்றேன் வல்லையுன் கட்டுரைகள் பண்டே உன் வாயறிதும் வல்லீர்கள் நீங்களே நானே தானாயிடுக ஒல்லை நீ போதாய் உனக்கென்ன வேறுடையை எல்லாரும் போந்தாரோ போந்தார் போந்தென்னிக்கொள் வல்லானை கொண்டானை மாத்தாரை மாத்தழிக்க வல்லானை மாயனை பாடேலோர் எம்பாவாய். श्री गर्गवंश कलचार्णव पूर्णचंद्रम श्री वेंकटार्य गुरुवर्य धनूजरत्नम तस्मादवाप्त निगमांत रहस्य जालम श्रीमत्स्थलेशय गुरुम सततम भजामि. ஆழ்வார்கள் வாழி அருளிச் செயல் வாழி தாழ்வாதுமில் குறவர் தாம் வாழி ஏழ்பாறு முய்ய அவர்கள் உரைத்தவைகள் தாம் வாழி செய்ய மறை தன்னுடனே சேர்ந்து அஞ்சு கொடிக்கொரு சந்ததியாய் ஆழ்வார்கள் தஞ்செயலை விஞ்சி நிற்கும் தன்மையளாய் பிஞ்சாய் பழுத்தாளை ஆண்டாளை பத்தியுடன் நாளும் வழுத்தாய் மனமே மகிழ்ந்து. Sriman Narayana says that he, of all the months, he is the month of Margari. So in this Shreshtamana Margari Masam, we are all enjoying the glories of Andal, the glories of Thiruppaavai. In that order, today Adiyan will talk a little bit about the 15th Pasuram. Today's Pasuram, which is, it starts with Elle Ilangkiliye. So in this Pasuram, Andal takes up somebody who she refers to as Kili, not just Kili, Ilangkili. And then when she calls upon that Ilangkili, she says Elle, which is she actually wonders. And if we have to get into the meaning of this Pasuram, we have to talk about what happened prior to this. So in the previous Pasuram, in the 14th Pasuram, she wakes up a Gopika who says, who was going to go and make all the arrangements. She was going to first come and then she was going to get everybody together. She was going to do everything that's needed for the hunt. And then Andal wakes her up. And then when she asks, okay, what are we going to do? She says, Pankaya Kannane Padelo Empavai. She says, come, let's go and sing the glories of Pankaya Kannan. That is one who has eyes that are like the lotus. Pankaya Kannan. Changodu Chakkara Mendum Tadakkayan Pankaya Kannane Padelo Empavai. That's what she says. Now, the Gopika who is being waken up in this Pasuram, she is next door to the Gopika who is woken up in the 14th Pasuram. So while Andal is telling the others, is telling the other Gopika, come, let's sing the glories of Pankaya Kannan, the one who has the lotus-like eyes. Pankayam is the Tamil word. In Sanskrit, it will translate to Pankajam. Since Ja does not exist in its purest form in Tamil, when Alvars have composed their works, they don't use the word Ja. They only use the word Ya instead of the Pankajam. There are other places also. For example, in Thiruppaavai, you would have heard Irudi Kesan, right? In many places. So that is actually the Tamil version of Rishikesha, but that sound does not exist in Tamil. So they Alvars refer as Irudi Kesa. So similarly, Pankaya Kannane Pada. So she calls. Now this Gopika who is sitting, who is sleeping or who is in the next door, right? Now she hears that. She says Pankaya Kannane Pada. They are they are inviting to sing the glories of the lotus eye. So she hears that and then she starts humming Pankaya Kannane. So she starts humming. So when she hears that, when she sings that, Andal and her friends, they hear her sweet voice. They hear her sweet voice. They come over. Now they are like, oh, so you've got such melodious voice. So who sings melodiously? It is the parrot that sings melodiously. So she says, oh, and she wonders, she's appreciating the beauty of how the Gopika sings. So she says, Elle. So she wonders, Elle Ilangkiliye. She wakes up. She calls her Kili because of the how beautiful she sings. Okay. And then in addition, she says Ilangkiliye. So here our acharyas have given a very beautiful meaning. So they say that when she is referred to as the Kili, it is only for her looks and for her the sweetness or the melody of her tone, not for her age, because in Andal herself, in another pasuram, when she talks about Kuyil, which is the koil bird, the cuckoo bird, she says Ilangkuyil again. So why does Andal say Ilangkiliye, and then why does Andal say Ilangkuyile? So the acharyas have given us a very beautiful meaning. They say in the Ramayana Dhyana Slokam, you would have heard Valmiki Kokhilam, right? So Valmiki is like the cuckoo bird that sings the glories of Rama, that sings about Ramayana. But Valmiki is an old cuckoo bird. Valmiki is not a young cuckoo bird. So that is why Andal specifically, when she talks about the Ilangkuyils, she says Ilangkuyile. Similarly, here also Andal says, when she refers to this Gopika, she is not some old kili, she is not some old parrot. She is a very, very young parrot. So that's why she says Ilangkiliye. Elle Ilangkiliye. So she says. Now the Gopika who is inside, who is sitting down inside, she hears this. She hears this, but she does not respond. And then we will talk about why she does not respond. But before that, let's just slightly enjoy what is the crux of this pasuram. So the crux of this pasuram is that it is actually the center ornamental part of Thiruppaavai. So today is day 15. It sounded like Margari just started, but we are already halfway through Margari now. So Margari runs by so fast, time flies when we are having fun. Here for us, the fun is that we are enjoying Andal, right? We are enjoying Andal, we are enjoying Thiruppaavai, we are enjoying the glories of Krishna. So now there is an Alvar called Nammalvar, you would have heard. Nammalvar, he sang a pasuram about Thirukudandai Ara Amuda Perumal. There he says Ara Amude. So Perumal himself, in a place called Thirukudandai, which is Kumbakonam, he has the name Ara Amudan because Ara means insatiable. Amuda means nectar. So Ara Amude means insatiable nectar. That is, let's say there is something that is finite. That's finite. I mean, just consider anything, right? So a bag of candy, a bag of sugar, bag of whatever, right? As soon as you consume, the quantity will keep reducing. But Perumal, Sriman Narayana, he is like the insatiable nectar. You cannot get enough of him, and he keeps kollak kuraivilan, which means it's never ending. He'll keep going on and on, right? So similarly, the glories. So when we talk about the glories of Sriman Narayana, of Krishna, right? They are never ending. They'll keep coming more and more. So that is the fun that we are having in this month for us. So we do that, and we are already halfway through. Okay. So this is the 15th pasuram and the 15th day. Now Thiruppaavai has 30 pasurams, of which Andal sings 29 pasurams in the bhavana of a Gopika. The 30th pasuram is the Phalashruti pasuram. There she says, Vanga Kadal Kadainda Madhavanai Kesavanai, Tingal Tirumugattu Cheirayar Senniranji, Anga Apparai Kondavatrai, Ani Puduvai, Paingamala, Thanderiyal, Battar Viran, Kodai Sonna. So until then, in all of the other pasurams, she is assuming herself as the Gopika. But in the last pasuram, now she comes and says she is Battar Viran Kodai. That is, she is the daughter of Periyalvar, who is referred as Battar Viran. So she says that. So let's exclude that pasuram. Of the remaining 29 pasurams, number 15 is the middle, right? So this is the center ornamental piece. But we won't say pasuram is the central ornamental piece just going by the number, right? There has to be something more than that. It cannot be just based on numbers. So the crux here is that in this Pasuram, Andal talks about the Bhagavata Seshatvam. That is, she talks about the greatness of the Bhagavatas. And even in this Pasuram, so Pasuram is Elle Ilangkiliye Innamurangudhiyo Sillennalayen Min Nangemir Podarginnen Vallayun Katturegal Pande Unvayaridum Vallirgal Neengale Nane Danayiduga, which is the last part of the fourth line. So she says Nane Danayiduga. That is the centermost crux, the most meaningful part of this Pasuram. Okay? And then she goes on to talk about the remaining. So she does that. In all of Thiruppaavai, so when she wraps up, the 29th Pasuram, it talks about the Bhagavad Gunam. So how Swarupam for Bhagavan, how we should be, how everything to do with our relationship with Bhagavan. But here in the 15th Pasuram, she talks about the Bhagavata. So in the Vyakyanams, our Acharya says, 29ஆம் பாட்டு பகவத் பிரபாவம் இருந்தபடியே சொல்லுகிறது. That is, let me pull up the exact text. It says பகவத் விஷயத்தில் இருக்கும் படியெல்லாம். That is, however, whatever is in Bhagavad Vishayam, that is mentioned in the Chitranjirgale Pasuram 29. But in this one, it is Bhagavata விஷயத்தில் இருக்கும்படி. So இப்பாட்டிலே சொல்லுகிறது. And to top this, Acharyas have also said that Thiruppaavayavadi Ippatire. That is, this is the song, this is the Pasuram that is considered the essence of Thiruppaavai. That's what this says. Now in all the other Pasurams, so we've been looking at the glories of what Andal's been doing. So starting from the 6th Pasuram, she's been waking up each Gopika, right? So this is the 15th Pasuram. So with this Pasuram, she wraps up waking up the Gopikas, and then next she goes to wake up the Dwarapalakas to get their Agnya or to get their recommendation. She does that. So this is the final Pasuram from that sense, where she wakes up the other devotees. Now just looking at how Andal approaches this, right? So just in general Thiruppaavai itself, we say Aiyindum Aindum Ariyada Manadarai Vayyam Sumappadum Vamba, which means Aiyindum means Anju. So I don't know what it is in Telugu, but you can, I means like 5. Aiyindum, which is 5 times 5 plus 5, which are the 30 Pasurams. Aiyindum Ariyada Manadarai. Manida means Manusha, which means like people. Okay. Ariyada means one who does not know. So in the Vazhithirunamam it says Aiyindum Ariyada Manidarai Vayyam Sumappadum Vambu. Vayyam means the world. Vayyam Sumappadum, the world is carrying, right? It's burden. It's just burden. There is no use. That's what that's what in Vazhithirunamam they say, right? Aiyindum. So why did they say Aiyindum? It is because you can actually break down Thiruppaavai logically into these pieces of 5 Pasurams. The first 5 Pasurams, you can consider that as the Avatarikai. The next 10 Pasurams, she does the Thiruppalliyezhi. Thiruppalliyezhi means waking up. She does the Thiruppalliyezhi for the Bhagavatas. So of those 10 Pasurams also, for 5 Pasurams, there is signs of dawn. So where she says Pullum Silambinakan. So she says all of those things, right? Vai neganda ambal vai kumbinakan. So she says all of those things, which mean that there are signs of dawn. Whereas in the other 5 Pasurams, there are no signs of those dawns. Okay. So these 10 are for the Bhagavata Thiruppalliyezhi. And then the next 5, she wakes up the Vinnor. Vinnor means the celestials. That is, whenever Krishna takes birth, whenever Sriman Narayana descends, all his Nityasuris, they also come and take birth because they cannot bear the separation from him. They come here to do their Kainkaryam here also. Right? So she wakes up all of those people. So first she wakes up Dwarapalakas, then in Ambarame Tamire she wakes up Balarama, she wakes up Yashoda Pirati, and then she wakes up Nappinai Pirati. So she does all of that. And then the next 5 Pasurams, that is from 21 to 25, it's about, oh, we have come and we are offering our Mangala Sasanams to you. It is about that. and then the last 5, it is about the prayatnam, or that is the effort that Krishna takes to get us. So that's the logical separation for these 25, 30, for these 35 pasurams. So of that, in this pasuram, or in the 6 to 15, she is waking up all of those Vedam Vallar. So there is one Thiruppaavai Pasuram where it says, where Alvar says, Vedam Vallargalai kondu Vinnor Peruman Thiruppadam Paninde. That is, whenever you are surrendering to Perumal, it is not like you just go and surrender to him. That never happens, right? Perumal will never accept you when we do that. So you always go through your acharyas, you always go through Bhagavatas. So that's the approach that you take. So Nammalvar says Vedam Vallargalai kondu, which means Vallargal means ones who are capable. Okay, Vedam Vallar, that is the ones who are well versed in the Vedam. Okay, Vedam Vallargalai kondu Vinnor Peruman. Vinnor, so when she says Vinnor, she talks about the celestial. Alvar says the celestials. Vinnor, Vin means the heavenly worlds. So when I say heavenly worlds, not, I don't mean to say the Bhuva Suva, not this, that's not the Swarga, but the like the Vaikuntham and such. Okay, so Vinnor Peruman Thiruppadam Paninde. So you have to approach through them. Just like how when we go to a temple, we first offer our prayers, our salutations to the Dvajastambam, right? We offer our salutations to Garuda, and then we go and we offer our salutations to Taya, and then we go around Pradakshinama, we come, and then we take the mercy and the blessings of Andal, and then we go to Perumal. So similarly, here also what Andal does, so she first goes to the Vedam Vallar, that is these 10 Gopikas that she takes up, they are representatives of the Vedam Vallargal. And then Vinnor Peruman. So when Alvar says Vinnor Peruman, she is now surrendering to Yashoda Pirati, she is now surrendering to Balarama. So she is taking all of their Purushakaram, and then she goes to Nappinnai Pirati, and then only she goes to Perumal. So Andal has exhibited what Nammalvar says as Vedam Vallargalai kondu Vinnor Peruman Thiruppadam Paninde. That's what she has done. Now, coming to the, so in that order, in this 15th Pasuram, she talks about the, she wakes up the Gopika, who she refers to as the Ilankiliye. Now, in all of the other Pasurams, that is from Pasurams 6 to 14, Andal says a lot of things, right? So, and they are all in a conversationalist way. So, when those conversation happens, what we have to deduce is that it is all the words of Andal, and with the words of Andal, we have to assume that Andal would have said this because somebody who is inside, that is the person that she is conversing with, they should have said something. So, because they said that, Andal is responding with whatever this is, right? So, that is the thing. In the 15th Pasuram though, in the Elle Ilangkiliye Pasuram, it is a very, very explicit conversation between the Gopika who is inside and and Andal who is outside. So, they call this, it is Ukti Prayukti. So, which means Andal is saying something, and the Gopika who is inside, she is also responding. Okay. So, that is what this is. So, in this Pasuram, it is explicit. In all the other Pasurams, it is implicit. Whereas in this Pasuram, this is explicit. Okay. So now let's talk about what happens in the Pasuram itself. Okay. So I started off a little bit, but I didn't get into the crux of what this Pasuram is. So I had to go back and correct myself. Apologies for that. So now she says, Elle Ilangkiliye. So the Bhagavata or the Gopika who is sleeping here inside, right? She hears when Andal refers as Pankaya Kannan Pada, and she starts humming Pankaya Kannan, and then Andal and the other Gopikas, they hear that and they come. So when they come, they ask her, Elle Ilangkiliye. So she hears that. Now the Gopika who is sleeping inside, she also heard the conversation between Andal and the other Gopika that happened in the 14th Pasuram. So what did Andal say there? She says, Nangai, Nanadai, Navudayai. Oh, Nanadai, don't you have any shame? She says that, Nanadai, Navudayai. So she says that. So then this Gopika feels, the Gopika in the 15th Pasuram, she feels, oh, if I am sleeping, at least that they reached to that Gopika before me. So even for that Gopika, if that is the response, if that is the words they use, they said, Nangai, Nanadai. If they said that, oh, shameless person, then what are they going to talk about me? It is better not to open my mouth now. So she just keeps quiet. But she is doing her Krishna Anubhavam. She is, because she is saying Pankaya Kannan, so she is immersed in Krishna Anubhavam. So she doesn't want to respond at this point. So when she doesn't want to respond at this point, now Andal says, Inna Murangudiyo, are you still sleeping? Now when she says Inna Murangudiyo, so there are Periyavachan Pillai has shown so we've probably already gone through this in the prior episodes, right, in the prior days. So the Vyakyanams for Thiruppaavai, there are multiple Vyakyanams. Periyavachan Pillai, who has composed all of the Vyakyanams for all of the Divya Prabandhams, he has written a Vyakyanam called Moovayirappadi for Thiruppaavai, which means it's Padi is a measure. So it has like 32 aksharams. So Moovayirappadi is 3000. Moovayirappadi. And then Alagiya Manavala Perumal Nayanar, who also composed the work called Acharya Hridayam. You will hear about that a lot. Alagiya Manavala Perumal Nayanar, he has written a Vyakyanam called Arayirappadi. And then I Jananyacharya, he has written two Vyakyanams, Irayirappadi and Nalayirappadi, that is 2000 Padi and 4000 Padi. And on top of all this, Suddha Sattvam Dodacharya, he has written Swapadesam. Swapadesam means the inner meanings. And Vannana Vanamamale Jiyar, which is Ponnadika, who is Ponnadika Jiyar, who is a direct Shishya of Manavada Mamanigal. He is one of the Ashtadigajas of Manavada Mamanigal. He has also written the Swapadesam. Okay. So in the Moovayirappadi, so Adiyan will refer a little bit to the Moovayirappadi Vyakyanam, Arayirappadi Vyakyanam, and also the Swapadesams. Okay. In Moovayirappadi, Periyavachan Pillai says, so there are 2 or 3 reasons why Andal says, Innam Urangudiyo. So the first one is, she's saying, Krishna, he says, Krishna Virahattale Talarnu Urakkamindrike Un Katakshame Patrasaga Nangal Nindra Pinnum Inrangum Nattaniyo, which means he says, oh, we cannot bear the separation from Krishna. So we are sleepless. So now we have come to you. We have come to you because we want to take you also along and go. So when we are here, then how can you still sleep? That is the first reason. The second one he says is, Krishna Anubhavattukku Ekantamana Kalam Siddhithirukka Uranga Kadavayo, which means he says, oh, this period, right? So this is the perfect time for enjoying Krishna, for Krishna Anubhavam. So right in the first Pasuram, Andal says Margari Tingal. So they say the Kalam means the time. It is the right time to enjoy Krishna, right? So that has come for observing the Nomu, for all of that. So when that has happened, why are you still sleeping? That's the second. The third one he says is Uddhesyam Kaipugundalum Urangavarunda, which means he says, oh, you've got what you've got, what you need to get, you've got. That is all the Bhagavatas have come there. When that has happened, why are you still sleeping? So those are the three reasons that Periyavachan Pillai gives. So then now the Bhagavata who's inside, she still does not respond. She says Inna Murangadiyo. So that's why Andal says Inna Murangadiyo, right? So this has happened. So now the Bhagavata, the Gopika who is inside, she is thinking, oh, they are a disturbance to my Krishna Anubhavam. That's what she says. They are a disturbance because they are just coming and saying something. They are just when Purvacharyas, when they are reciting Thiruvaimozhi in Srirangam, at that time, even the Selvar Purapa, Selvar means the deity that they take around during the Bali, during the time they offer food and all that, right? So when they take around, so when Selvar is having a Purapada, they will ring the bell. So what she says is, when Thiruvaimozhi is being recited and enjoyed, even when Selvar comes in Purapada, that is seen as a disturbance for this. That's how the Acharyas speak. So it is similar to that. Now she says, now she feels, oh, I am trying to enjoy Krishna here, I am trying to get Krishna Anubhavam, and at this time, what are these Gopikas doing, Gopikas and Andal, why are they coming to disturb me? So she doesn't respond anything. So then, but then Andal is steadfast, right? So she says, Inna Murangadiyo. So then she is like, okay, she goes, Elle Ilangkiliye Inna Murangadiyo. Then now she responds. So this is the first Vakyam that we see of the Gopika who is inside. She says, Chillendrarayenmen. She says, don't call me like this. So which means it's like you are, it's bothering me, you are annoying me. So that's how she says, Chillendrarayenmen. Then she says, Nangai mean podargindren. So she says Nangai. Nangai mean Nangai. So there are a lot of terms that you can use, a lot of ways you can refer to a female, right? So but the Gopika who is here, she uses this word called Nangai. The Nangai is a female word, and the meaning for Nangai means that she has Guna Purti, which means she is complete in all the Kalyana Gunams. That's what that means. So, for example, Periyalvar, when he refers to Rukmini Devi, he says Uruppini Nangai. And the male for male it is Nambi. So Nambi means Perumal. So you would have heard the name Nambi in many places, right? In Thiruppaavai Nambi, we see Thiruppaavai Nambi. In Thiruppaavai he is there. Narayur Ninna Nambi. In a place called Thirunarayur there is Nambi. Nambi means one who has Guna Purti, which means he is complete in all the Kalyana Gunams. So Madhura Kavi Alvar, when he talks about Nammalvar, he uses the same word. He says Nambi. Tirukkurugur Nambikku Anbanai is what he says. So Nammalvar is also complete in all the Kalyana Gunams. So similarly, Andal now refers, not Andal, the Gopika. So she refers and she tells them, oh you perfect people. That's how she says. Nangami podargide. If you don't open your mouth, I will come. That's what she says. Now Andal and her friends, they are looking at her. Oh, why is she calling us as a Nangai? Because Andal wants to have the association of all the devotees. She does not want even one single person to be left out when she's having Krishna Anubhava. So, but let's say somebody, your friend comes to your house and then refers to you as, oh, you Miss Perfect. So then you'll be like, what's going on with you? Why are you being so formal with me all of a sudden? So when they are being so formal, then you will feel very distant, right? With them, you won't feel the closeness. So here when she uses the word, when the Gopika uses the word Nangai, then they are like, okay, something has happened. Then they say, Vallai un katturaigal pande un vayarigam. That is, they say, oh, katturai. See, in general, in Tamil, the word katturai might mean an essay. But here, that's not the meaning. Kattu urai. So, urai is the text here. Katta means kadumai. Kadumai means katina. I'm probably translating it very crudely. Katina, she uses very harsh words. So, she says, Vallai un katturegal. Vallai means, okay, I know you are capable. You are Vallai un katturegal. You are using these harsh words. Vallai un katturegal, pande un vayaridam. So, she says, we know about you, that you are capable of using such harsh words. We know that. Even before Vallayum Katturegal, Pande means from a long time ago. So even from before we know Pande un Vayaridum. We know that you are capable of speaking like this. Pande un Vayaridum. So to which the Gopika who is inside, she says Vallirgal Ningale. So because Andal says Vallai, she says Vallai un Katturegal, right? Now she says Vallirgal Ningale. That is, oh, you are the ones who are capable of, now the Gopika, she accuses Andal and her friends. So she says, Vallirgal Ningale. Oh, you are the one who is Vallirgal. And then when she says that, so then she starts thinking. So because now Andal is wondering why she used the word Vallirgal, right? So she says, she says the fault, first the Gopika inside, she says the fault is yours. The fault is not mine. Because usually what happens, I am very, very fond, I am very, very eager to hear what you guys are saying, what my friends are saying. But today when you asked me, Inna Murangadiyo, Elle Ilangkiliye, when you said that, I never responded. That means you should have know that I am doing something else. I am having Krishna Anubhavam. That is the only thing that can prevent me from coming and joining you. So when so you should be happy that I am enjoying Krishna, but instead of that you are saying all of these Vallayun Katturegal Pandeyun Vayaridam, which means the dosham is yours. That's what she says. And then when she says that, immediately she realizes, oh, I should not have said that, because that is not the Bhagavata Lakshana. So she now here we get into the crux of this Pasuram, which is Bhagavata Seshatvam and Bhagavata Abhimanam, right? So she says, oh, the nature of a Sri Vaishnava is to exhibit Paraspara Neecha Bhavai, which means that Parasparam, to each other, we should always do Swadosha Anusandhanam. That is, we should think about what the doshas we have, right? And we should do Bhagavad Guna Anusandhanam, Bhagavata Guna Anusandhanam. But when it comes to us, we should do Swadosha Anusandhanam. We should talk about how lowly we are. Paraspara Neecha Bhavai, that's what we should do. And then, but that's not what she did here. So immediately she says, Naneda Nayedega, which means she says, okay, let it be me. Naneda Nayedega, let I be the person who said all of these harsh words. So here Acharyas have shown us, so when she says Naneda Nayedega, she exhibits the Swarupam of Bharata, which is in Sri Ramayanam. When Bharata returns from his maternal uncle's kingdom after Rama has gone, so he comes to know what has happened. He comes to know, oh, okay, Rama has been sent to the forest and Kaikeyi has done. He has been sent to the forest and his father has passed away. Right? He is grief stricken. So when he is grief stricken like that, so at that point he wonders, okay, how did all of this happen? Whose fault is all of this? Right? So is it Kaikeyi's fault? Is it Manthara's fault? Is it Manthara's fault? Because she is the one who pressed upon Kaikeyi to do this, right? To press upon Kaikeyi to send Rama to the forest. And then he says, no. Manthara did that because she wanted to serve, she wanted to be true to her mistress. So did Kaikeyi, so is it Kaikeyi's fault? No, it's not Kaikeyi's fault, because Kaikeyi, she is a Pedai. So that is, she was clouded by what she thought was good for her son. So she did that. So if Kaikeyi said this, should Dasharatha have accepted? Dasharatha is a great king, right? So should he have accepted? Where did his intelligence go? And then no, it's not Dasharatha's fault. He was pressed upon to do that because of the promises that he gave earlier, and he wanted to he wanted to keep up his satyam. And then he says, okay, then if Dasharatha said that, should Rama have gone? Well, Rama went because he wanted to do Pitruvakya Paripalanam, so he went. So at the end, whose fault is all this? So then Bharata says, it is all my fault. It is nobody else's fault. It is all my fault. He says, Mat Papamevatha Nimithamasi. That is, it is all my fault only. So that is why all of this happened. So that is what here the Gopika says. So the Sri Vaishnava Lakshanam is that even if you have not done anything wrong, even if somebody else has done everything wrong, you don't go and try to prove yourself right. So the fault is mine. It is because of what I did. I am responsible for what happened. So she takes that and says Naneda Nayedega. So our Acharyas have shown that this Pasuram itself has been composed. Andal composed this Pasuram to show the greatness of Bharata. This is for Bharatas only. So that is the crux. So Naneda Nayedega here. Now, so once she realizes that, then she goes on and she says, okay, alright, so Naneda Nayedega. What do you want now? She says, Ungalukku seyya venduvadhen, what do you want from me? So to which now Andal says, Vallai ni podar. We don't want Vallai means like quickly, come quickly, because she does not want to be separated even for just a kshanam. She doesn't want to be separated. Engalukku oru kshanamum nee illama madam. That is, we don't want even one kshanam separated from you. So Vallai ni podar. So and then so the Bhagavata, the Gopika inside, she is not acting so quickly. She is not coming out so quickly. So then immediately Andal says, Unakki enna verudayai? What else do you have? So there are Panchalaksham Kudi Pengal. So all there are these Panchalaksham people are here, right? We are all going to have Krishna Anubhavam, and we are all going to do that. So what is it that you are doing inside separately? Are you trying to enjoy Krishna separately inside? I mean, you have to come outside and be with us. So here, our Acharyas have shown, Aragya Manavala Perumal Nayanar, he has shown another very, very beautiful Tatparyam. He says here, so if one tries to enjoy Krishna by himself, without including the other Bhagavatas or without wanting to be with the other devotees, then there is no difference between him and somebody who's doing the who's doing the Aradhanam for Devathantarams. So Devathantaram means other devas, not anybody other than Sriman Narayana is Devatantaram. So he says, so this is considered very, very harsh doing that, because if you, I mean, we just passed Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So in the two Ekadasis ago, it was the Kaisike Ekadasi. You may have heard about the story of Nampaduvan there. Right? It happens in Thiruppaavai. So Nampaduvan, who is a devotee, he's waiting for. He was on his way to do his music service for Thirukurumudi Nambi. On the way, a Brahma Rakshasas gets hold of him. The Brahma Rakshasas does not want to let go of him. So now Nampaduvan, he's not worried about his life. He just wants to go and offer his service to Thirukurumudi Nambi. So he makes a lot of promises. He says, oh, if I don't come back, let that happen to me, let this happen, let me get the papam of one who does X, one who does Y. So he lists all of those papams. The Brahma Rakshasas does not let him go for any of those. So finally Nampaduvan says, oh, if I do not come back, let me get the papam that one gets if he assumes or if he equates Sriman Narayana with other gods. You can't even say gods. And I know that His Holiness Chinnaji or Swamiji, he has said that we should not use the word demigod. So he says we should use them, we can call them Devatas. So if one equates Sriman Narayana to other Devatas, whatever papam I will get, let me get that papam. So when he says that, the Brahma Rakshas is like, oh, will there be people like that who assume that Sriman Narayana and other Devatas are the same? If you say that you will get that papam, then I will let you go. That's what he says. So that is how unacceptable praying to other gods is. So here Nayanar says, so if one wants to one wants to have Anubhavam of Krishna just by himself, that is Swayam Bhagam, just by himself, then Perumal will never accept that. So then there is no difference between him and Bhagavat Vishayathoda Devatantarathoda Vasi Illai. That is, there is no difference between such people. That's what she says. Now Andal says, okay, Olleni Poda, she says that. So why Vanakenna Verudayai? So what other work do you have? So you don't have, what else is happening that you are trying to do separately? So just come outside. That's what she says. Unakenna verudayai. So to which now the Gopika who's inside, she says, Yellarum pondaro. Oh, it's not like I don't want to come and join with you. I am just waiting for everybody to come. Has everybody come? Yellarum pondaro. That's what she asks. Has everybody come? So to which Andal says, Pondar, pondennikol. Yes, of course, they have all come. If you want, come outside and you can count them. So why does Andal say count? Then it seems very silly, right? To say, oh, if you want, come and count yourself. So let's say we took something from somebody. When we are returning it, if they say, oh, have you given everything back? We'll say, oh, count yourself if you want, right? We'd say that. So similarly, Andal here says, Pondar pondennikol. But the real reason is not because Andal does not think that the other Bhagavata does not believe. So the reason here is that, so when she says, when she wants to come and count, what will happen? So it is still dawn, right? It is still dark, right? So when the Bhagavata, the Gopika who is inside, when she comes outside and she is trying to count each one of them, right? So she has to first go. She will look at them. She will try to grasp who they are. She may touch them, right? she'll touch them, she'll recollect their names. So she will do that for every single person that she is counting, which means that she is going to have all of that Bhagavata Anubhavam. She is going to be in the association of all of those Bhagavatas. So that is why Andral says here, Pondenniko. Okay. So now the Bhagavata, now the Gopika says, okay, fine, I accept that everybody is here. Pondar Pondenniko. Okay. So now what are we going to do after this? So to which Andral says, Vallane Konnane Matare Matarikka Vallane Mayane Padelo. So she says, okay, now that we are all together, what are we going to do? Vallane Konnane. That is, let's go and we will sing the glories, because this is also finally Pada, right? It's all about Nama Sankirtana. Who are we going to sing? Vallane Konnane. That is the one who killed the elephant called Kubalaya Pita, right? So when Krishna is going to Mathura upon Kamsa's behest, right? So he goes, and then Kamsa has set up so many of those obstacles, right? So he set up the wrestlers, he set up the elephant, he's done all of those things, right? So apparently all of those Gopikas there, right? The Gopikas and the Tayas, so they were very worried. They were waiting, because Krishna, what is going to happen to Krishna now, right? So he had put this elephant, and now Krishna goes and kills that elephant. That is Val Aanai. Aanai is Yane, which is elephant. Val Aanai Konrane. So after he does that, so now, so then here Nayanar says, Nam Jeevanamana Nam Tannai Noki Tandavanai. That is, so only then they get their life back. Okay, so after he kills all of those obstacles, right, he gets rid of all of those obstacles. That's when they get the Gopikas and the Bhagavatas, or not the Gopikas, the ladies, right, the ladies of Mathura, so they get their life back. Then Matare Matarika Vallane, that is, he kills Kamsa. And how does he kill Kamsa? He kills him Anayasam. Anayasam means very easily he kills. So he kills Matare Matarika Vallane. So it is not like, so here Acharyas have shown another very beautiful example. Krishna here, right, he is very, okay, I'm going to come, I'm going to do this. That's what he does. He is not like Rama, because what did Rama do? Rama gave time for Ravana. He says, Gacha. So he says, go today and come back tomorrow. He gives so many opportunities. For Rama gives so many opportunities to see if Ravana will change his mind and if he will fall under Sita Pirati and Rama's feet. But that does not happen here, right? So Krishna is like, okay, I'm going to come, I'm going to get rid of you. So he's just quick. Matare Matarika Vallane. And then the next one is Mayanai. So here the word Mayanai. So in the 5th Pasuram, when they are talking about, when Andal talks about the Avatara Kramam of Krishna, there she says, Mayanai Mannavada Madurai Maindanai, right? So here also she says Mayan. So the meaning for Mayan there, Mayan is one who creates wonders, right? That's what Mayan means. So the reason why she has used the word Mayan here is that the way Krishna does things, right? The way he does is, what does he do? He behaves as though he is at the he is under the control of the Gopikas. But what does he do when he actually does that? He takes them in his control. It is not like when he is always under the control of his devotees. That is true. But the way he even accomplishes this, right? He accomplishes this is he goes as though he is the one who is Atpatta is the word they use, which means he is under their control. But when he does that, he really takes them under his control. Now, in the previous Pasuram, in the 14th Pasuram also, when Acharyas have given the meaning for the word Pankaya Kanna, so that is the lotus eye, they say he is lotus eye. Sangudu Chakara Mendum Tadakkayan Pankaya Kanna. That is the Pankaja Kanna, or the lotus eyes of Krishna, right? They are they are suitable for his Sangha Chakaram, the beauty that he has when he holds the Shankha and the Chakaram. right? His eyes are matching the beauty. So when he does that with that pankayakkan, with that lotus eye, what he does, he behaves as though, he first exhibits as though he is going to be under the control of the devotees, and then he takes them. So similarly here also, when Andal uses the word Mayan, it means he is going to go, and he is going to be under their control. And then the other meaning the acharyas have given here is Tan Kayil Avargal Padumattai Taan Pengal Kayil Padumamane. That is, so, but what is the necessity for using the word Mayan here, which is, so before the word Mayan, the words are Vallane Kondane, Matare, Matarika Vallane. That is all of the people that are against Krishna, right? So all of the trouble they go through, that is all of the sufferings that I can't think of the exact English word for it, but Avargal Padum Pade, that is they will be under so much trouble, right? So Mayan, what Krishna will do is he will go through all of that under the Gopikas. So the Gopika, because he'll be under their control. That's how it is. Mayane Matare Matarika Vallane Mayane Padelor Empavai. So come, let us go and sing his glories. Aman Namakku Torkum Tolvikku Totrapada. That is, he comes, and so here the Tolvi means Vetri means victory, Tolvi means defeat. So he is defeat. What that means is he is coming and he is as though he is under our control, right? So for that let us go and sing the glories. So that is the in summary what has been mentioned for this pasuram. There are also, I don't know with time, is it okay to just mention a few more things? Okay, right, I'll keep going. So yeah, so here when Azhagya Manavada Perumal Nayanar, when he is summarizing, he says Elle Ilangkiliye. So when he says Elle, when Andal says Elle Ilangkiliye, so that means, so Kili is, Kili means Sishya in general. So because what will the Kili do? So the Kili, it will be under the control of whoever is raising. So whatever the Acharya teaches, whatever we teach, right, the Kili to speak, the Kili will speak that. So in Acharya Hridayam, Azhagya Manavada Perumal Nayanar, he has mentioned that there are Kuratalvan, Arulala Perumal and Perumanar, so other such Acharyas, right? So they can all be referred to as Kili, because they speak what the Acharyas have taught them. So and the Alvars here are also all Pesitre Pesum Eka Kandargal, which means they all say the same thing. So in general, when in all of the Divya Prabandha Maruleshwar Pasurams, right, Alvars, they will always glorify the Kili. They glorify the Kili because the Kili will repeat what you are saying. Unlike the Kuyil, the cuckoo. What the cuckoo will do, cuckoo will sing its own music. It will sing its own. Which means the cuckoo might sing just whatever. It's not in line with what the Acharyas have taught us. Unlike that, the parrot, right, it will repeat what the Acharyas have taught us. So that's why, so Kili here is a Sishya, okay. So Elle Ilangkiliye, so here Ilangkiliye means the young Kili, right. So Bhagavat, so one who has a lot of interest in Bhagavat Vishayam. So their speech is also, their speech is something that we want to listen to. We want their speech, okay. So when she says Inna Murangudiyo, that means that after you've got Bhagavata Sahavasam, that is, once you've got the association of the Bhagavatas, then you should not be thinking about something else, or you should not try to enjoy by yourself. That is mentioned, that is indicated by Innam Urangudiyo. Next is Sillen Radayen Min. So that with that she means that see, even if the Bhagavata says something, you have to tolerate it. You cannot be like Chillen Radayen. You cannot be, oh, can you please stop being rude, right? So you shouldn't do that. Chillen Radayen Min Nangemir Podargindren. That is, she says the other thing for Nangemir here is that just like how in the first Pasuram, Andal says Neerada Podivir, that is, she is calling all her friends. So when between friends, they can be very casual, right? But Andal is not being like that. Andal is being very respectful. She says Neerada Podivir. She uses very respectful terms. So here she says you also, so between Bhagavatas you have to be very respectful. So the one of the things that our acharyas, when you look at the Sri Vaishnavas, especially in India, right, we don't see that much here. Adiyan has seen that a little bit in the East Coast. What happens is when two Sri Vaishnavas meet, right, the first thing they do is they bow down to each other. It's not like one is bowing down to another. Both of them bow down to each other. They do that. So it does not matter what age, it does not, none of that matters. So when they see that, they just bow down. So we have also seen, so Adiyan used to live in Chicago, and my sister-in-law, she actually witnessed this. So we used to go to lessons that were conducted by ISKCON, right? So once she was driving by Chicago, it was cold, right? So one Prabhuji walked out and another Prabhuji was coming. So it was right in the road. My sister-in-law was just driving by and she saw this. So this Prabhu saw that other Prabhu and then he just fell. He fell like a stick. So that's why we say Dandam Samarpita. Dandam means like falling like a stick. So they do that, right? So here, so you have to be respectful, okay? So Nangeme, that is represented in Nangeme Podargin, right? And then Vallayun Katturegal. So when she says Vallayun Katturegal, okay, so Vallayun Katturegal என்றால் சில்லென்ற அழையன்மின் என்பது இவர்களுக்கு உத்தேசியமான உபாதி உன் வெட்டிமை அறிந்தும். So that is whatever. Actually, I'm going to skip that part, that I don't understand that very well. The next one is Vallirgal Ningale Nanedana Aidaga. So when she says that, you also have to take Paradhosham as Swadhosham. That is somebody else's fault also. You have to consider and accept as your fault. Okay, Valleni Podai. So when she says Valleni Podai, which means you should not show any delay when you want to, that is, you always want to have the association of devotees and you want to have them all the time. You should not show any delay in that. And then the next one is Unakenna Verudayai. That is, you have to do the Krishna Anubhavam per the way it is defined, that is with everyone, not just by yourself. And then Ellarum Pondaro, that means you want everybody, all the Sri Vaishnavas you want. Pon then we call, which means even if one person is missing, we should not be like, oh, 10 people are coming, it's okay if 2 people don't come, right? So you should strive to get everybody together. Even if one person is missing, it is not acceptable. That's what she says. And then Vallane Kondrane, that means so when everybody has come together, at that point your goal should be to go and sing the glories, just like how Nammalvar said, for him Unnum Soru Parugunir Thinnum Vettilayum Ellam Kannan. So just like that, so everything is Kannan for him. The food that you eat, the betel leaf that he takes, right, the water that he drinks, everything is Krishna for him. So similarly, when everybody is together, you would want to have the enjoyment, you want to do the glories of Krishna, sing the glories of Krishna. So with all of this, Andal is waking up a Bhagavata who wants to see all of the Bhagavata Samuham, that is Ellaruடைய Thiruppaavai. Thiruppaavai means everybody has come together and she wants to see that. So such Gopika is the one who is being woken up by Andal in this Pasuram. And then finally, the Alvar who is woken up in this Pasuram is Thirumangai Alvar. Thirumangai Alvar is the last of the Alvars. So when Andal says Ilangkiliye, it can refer to him. It is Thirumangai Alvar. And then Thirumangai Alvar also, he has composed, in the works that he has composed where he exhibits Bhagavata Seshatvam, so he says the Bhagavatas are everything for him. Just like how this Gopika, she says, Naneda Naidaga. She says that she is here she is surrendering to the Bhagavatas. So like that, Thirumangai Alvar has exhibited that. And then in Thirumangai Alvar, his last work is called Thirunedum Tandalam. In that, so the Alvar, when he takes the female form, his name becomes Parakala Nayaki. So Parakala Nayaki's mother, she says Menkilipol Migamidattum Yen Pedaye. So she makes references to how she is like a kili. Okay, so with all of that, and it is to be Vanamamalajiyar has given us the Swapathesam that it is Thirumangayalvar who has been woken up in this Pasuram. Okay, so that is the crux. So Adiyan is pretty sure that I've made a lot of mistakes, I've made a lot of apacharans in this Bhagavata Koshti. Adiyan seeks pardon for all of that. And with that, Adiyan will stop now. Srimadhe Vishnu Chittarya Manonandana Hetave Nandanandana Sundarya Godaya Nityamangalam. Over to the other Bhagavatas.